Hello, this is going to be a basic tutorial on how to use Sibelius. Sibelius is a very useful program. I use it for almost everything I've done musically. Either that's from laying stuff out or just actually making a soundtrack with the sounds inside Sibelius. Everything I do is basically through this, so it's a pretty useful program. When you start Sibelius, you'll be greeted with this, and a lot of these presets, I mean, they work pretty well, but we'll start with blank first. So we're going to start with our first instrument. Just add one instrument, something simple. Just do a piano. And add to score, click OK. So we'll start with the piano. You can change all this later, don't worry about it really. Just create. So there we go, you have a basic piano score. So first, you have your basic controls, your keypad down here. What that's going to be able to let you do is insert rhythms and articulation of certain kinds. So the most basic way to input notes is just by mouse. And this is going to be slow, but it's a good way to begin. So click what kind of note you want down here in your keypad. And if you don't have the keypad for some reason, go to View, and it should be right up here. Keypad right here. So if you don't have it, just click that. You'll need it to basically do everything. So get your keypad out. Then you're going to click what note value you want down here. So you have a wide selection up to a 32nd note. And insert it on whatever line you want. Now you'll realize that your keypad, with all your note values, articulation, sharps, flats, and everything else, it lines up perfectly to a number pad. So if you're working on a big computer, something with a big keyboard with a keypad, this will be great because you can just select whatever you want from whatever lines up with the numbers. So let's say, okay, I want a quarter note, and that lines perfectly with number 4. So hit 4 on your keypad, and if you don't have one, just ignore this part. And you can select whatever notes you want and whatever values you want. Here, here. So the next way I like to insert my notes is using the virtual keyboard in Sibelius. You can also insert notes through a MIDI controller, through USB, MIDI to USB, anything like that. But if you don't have that, you can stick with the virtual keyboard here. So go up here to your View tab, down here, View, go to Keyboard, click it, and you'll have a keyboard right here. So start by clicking where you want. So I'm going to start writing right around here, and then you just click whatever notes you want. Okay, so that's another way. If you're a keyboard player and you want to do it that way, that works pretty well. What I like to do is I like to use my external keyboard, but if you don't have that, this works pretty well. So the next way you can is with your keyboard on your actual computer keyboard, your alphabetical keyboard. So select where you want again, and let's say I want a quarter note, so I'll click quarter note on the keypad, or 4 if you have a number pad, and I'll click C, and it'll give me a C right there. And so all of the musical alphabet, A through G, can be reached with your left hand, which I like, and all your rhythms, articulation, sharps, flats, all that can be accessed with your right hand. So this proves to be a pretty quick way to write. So let's say I want a D next, except with a half note. I hit half note on my keypad and then D. You can just mess around with the values and all that. If you want to put articulation, like tenutos, staccatos, accents, go over to your keypad and select them, whichever ones you want. You can put multiple articulation on one note, and insert them however you'd like, whether that's through your alphabetical keyboard, mouse input, or virtual keyboard up here. And then for flats and sharps, you can click on your keypad down here, whatever you'd like, flats, sharps, naturals, any of that. And that can be all changed later, or you can do it while writing. So if you mess up, you don't need to undo it. Just go to your note you want to be sharp or flat or natural, click it, and click whatever accidental you want. So when you insert notes with your alphabetical keyboard, Sibelius will automatically choose the note that's closest to the previous note. So if I insert a C and I click a D next, the D isn't going to be down here or all the way up here. It's going to be right here because that's the closest to the last note. If you want to change this, you can use the arrow keys and move to whatever interval you'd like. If you want an octave, you can hit Control or Command if you're on a Mac, and up and down on the arrow keys. Now for basic slurs, ties, that kind of thing. Ties and slurs are very different in Sibelius. What a tie does is it extends the note. If you're going from the same note to another note, let's say you want it, you just want to connect them. Just click Enter on the keypad or right down here on your keypad, and that will be a tie. Now if you have a line that you want legato, not tongued, connected, let's say just... Now if you want to slur all of these notes, you're going to want to highlight them. To highlight, you're going to go to the first note of what you want, hold down Shift, and go to the last note of what you want, and then click. That will highlight the phrase. And you can do all sorts of things with this. Crescendo, decrescendo. In this case, we want to slur them, so we're going to go up to Notations and click Slur. Slurs can be found in the Notation tab. Now, if you want to write multiple voices, that can also be done, such as, hymns or choir arrangements where you have, soprano, alto, tenor, bass, that kind of thing. You can go ahead and write your first voice. So what you want to do is go to 2 on your keypad and then click what note you want, and it will automatically create a second voice for you. If you want a third voice, then you can go up to 3 and 4 voices, but most of the time they don't go over that, especially not in like piano scores or anything. But these are always here for you, but usually you'll want to make different parts if you're going to get up to 4 voices. So that's just basic input for Sibelius 8. If you have any questions, let me know. Hope this was helpful. Thank you.